It's the middle of the night. The sky is black. A full moon shines an eerie glow into your living room. Outside, the world is still. A chilling wind whistles through the trees. You cower on your couch under a blanket, grasping your controller so hard that your knuckles are white. It's time for
Tales from the Arcade. On this cold, black night, we're reviewing classic arcade games. So weird, so creepy, they'll give you nightmares for years to come.
Beginning with Capcom's Captain Commando, originally released in 1991 and now available on the Capcom Classics Collection Volume 2 for PS2 and Xbox.
The Captain was Capcom's mascot before they adopted Mega Man. He not only has a tough body, but a sharp brain. He wears the Energy Glove, which discharges fire and electricity.
He's an American hero fighting bizarre alien creatures to save the world, along with the help of the Commando team, Ginzu the Ninja, Mac the Knife, and of course, Babyhead.
Babyhead is a 2-year-old genius baby created in the lab who rides on a robot of his own creation. We are not making this up.
His little hands work the controls on the robot suit, which fights with a lot of Hager's moves from Final Fight, all while sucking on his pacifier.
But he still wears a diaper. If he's so smart, why hasn't he learned how to use the potty?
Mac the Knife may look like a mummy, but he's actually an alien warrior who is very cool. He attacks very swiftly with his 2 special knives which melt the enemy. He melts people with knives. Again, we are not making this up.
You can actually see Mac melt his enemies with his special knives. Their skin drips off and they collapse into a pile of bones.
Now on the sidewalk, ooh, Sunday morning, lies a body just oozing life, and someone sneaking round a corner. Could that someone be Mac the Knife?
Ginzu the Ninja is a master of ninjutsu. He is very agile and can cut enemies in half with a single stroke of his sword. Yes, he literally cuts the enemies in half with his sword. I love this game.
Prepare to meet your maker. Dewey! Me! I'm Hailed!
When you select your characters, you hear this announcer who sounds bored or tired. You think he'd be a little more excited about defending the world from alien invasion.
The moves are very similar to Final Fight and other classic beat-em-ups like Streets of Rage. You can punch, jump kick, throw enemies, do a dash move by pressing the direction twice, then attack, and a special move by pressing both buttons together, which uses some of your energy.
Each character has a different special move. Captain Commando slams the ground with his Energy Glove, zapping everyone around him. Mac the Knife spins around, slashing with his 2 knives. And Ginzu and Babyhead both create some kind of cloud around them that knocks everyone down.
You fight through the city, the Museum of Natural History, Ninja House, Circus Camp, Seaport, Aquarium, Underground Base, and finally the enemy spaceship. Did I mention we're not making this up?
There's some crazy stuff going on in the background. What's that? Shamu strapped to a table?
Here's the Human Power Elite.
The gains have been substantial, both for ourselves and for you, the Human Power Elite.
You can have a little taste of that good life. life too. Now I know you want it. Hell, everybody does. You do it to your own kind.
And who's that on the wall? Jesus Christ?
You can pick up weapons like missile, gun, shuriken, paralyzer, laser, and hammer. And you can jump into robot suits like the one Babyhead uses.
Yes, Babyhead is in a robot suit, and he can jump into another robot suit.
You can also find power-ups like tendon, coffee, chocolate, guitar, gold, coin, teddy bear, lemon, and sandwich. Wow.
The enemies include big gray aliens, little fat guys who breathe fire, scantily clad chicks who electrocute you, and dudes with names like Wookie and Dick. Dick.
One of the bosses is actually Rambo. Yes, John Rambo from First Blood. His name is even Blood.
Old arcade games use Rambo a lot, like Golden Axe, but we'll talk about that another time.
This game isn't just weird and creepy, it's also gory. In addition to the melted skeletons and halved enemies, there are also enemies who vomit toxic green puke on you. Flames that turn you into a charred corpse. And electric shocks that x-ray you.
It's like a B-horror movie. You've got skeletons, charred corpses, people cut in half, killer aliens, weird monsters, and even a mummy.
And it's the only arcade game we know of to ever use star swipes, and it uses a lot of star swipes.
The only problem we have with this game is the music. It only has like 2 songs, and they're both pretty bland.
At the end, you fight a creature called Scumicide in a spaceship with no floor.
When you beat him, people on the street cheer, and President Obama appears to say, "My dear people, the super criminals who have plagued our town for so long have finally been eliminated."
That's right. We have beaten Scumicide, the diabolic genetic engineer who created his own army of supercriminals to try to take over the world. Some modicum of peace may finally be restored to our troubled planet.
Hey, who are you anyway?
I am Captain Commando.
We are not making this up.
Believe it or not, Jen, Captain Commando was actually ported to the Super Nintendo in 1995.
They were still making Super Nintendo games in 1995?
Oh, they were, but not many of them, which makes this cartridge very rare and expensive.
Of course, we bought one anyway. But curiously, it doesn't work in our SNES 2, so we have to play it in our Retron 3 instead.
Oh, what the hell is this? Looks like crap. God.
Luckily, the Retron 3 does a great job of playing Super Nintendo games. Genesis and NES, not so much.
The SNES version of Captain Commando is slower and censored. You can't chop enemies in half or melt their skin off. Lame.
And the sound is not nearly up to the usual Super Nintendo standard. It sounds muffled like it's broken.
Otherwise, it's not a bad port. It features all of the same weird and creepy levels as the arcade version, but the characters have different names. Ninja Commando, Baby Commando, Mummy Commando. They're like the Ramones.
If If you think Captain Commando is weird and creepy, get a load of the Ninja Kids, released by Taito in 1990, and now available on Taito Legends for the PlayStation 2, Xbox, and PC.
Taito has a long history of weird games with mangled English subtitles, but this is the weirdest and creepiest one of all. Just listen to the story.
In the 7th month of 1999, a great king of terror flied down from the sky.
Now is the end of a century. Because of the Satanists who wished the resurrection of Satan realized, the town became an unlawful town.
But there is a ray of hope. 4 young men who have mysterious ninja power. People call them as Ninja Kids.
Satanists are resurrecting Satan. We are not making this up.
The US version changed the Satan to the Evil One. Nice, US.
Like the Ninja Turtles, the Ninja Kids are each different colors, and they each fight with different weapons.
There's the red Keebler elf guy who throws shurikens.
Yellow emo haircut guy who swings some kind of sickle on a chain.
Blue hooded Kenny from South Park guy who uses a katana.
And green guy who looks like Bert from Sesame Street who uses nunchucks.
The ninja powers are the 4 elements: water, earth, wind, and fire.
Some of the powers are misspelled, like Bert Guy's Meteor Strike. And Emo Guy's Miller Image.
It's Miller time.
In between levels, there are these puzzling cutscenes that show the Ninja Kids as what look like people persons. Then a guy points and they become Muppets and fly away.
Who is this guy? What's happening here? The story doesn't explain it. As far as we know, the Ninja Kids are just regular guys with ninja powers, not toys that come to life.
The kids slice up other Muppets, sending their limbs and torsos flying.
This game is rated N for graphic Muppet violence.
There are also drunk hippie Muppets who carry around bottles of 3X whiskey, zombies that you can decapitate, crawling torsos, skeletons, and scary satanic cult members who can fly.
And Saddam Hussein. Yes, Saddam Hussein. We are not making this up.
And if that's not enough to give you nightmares, just look at these cutscenes.
You will be servants of the Satan.
Here is a graveyard of you.
The resurrection of the Satan is soon. At any risk, keep them in Seekek.
Then there's the terrifying enemies like Wolfman, Bulging Muscle Man, Flameface, Old Man in a Robot Suit, Lord Igthorn from Gummy Bears, and of course, the Satan.
You fight through the city, a construction work spot, a cemetery, then the Satanist headquarters where you crawl through a pit of bones and skulls to fight the Satan himself.
This is the scariest boss level in any game ever. The screen is all warped like you're in an actual nightmare.
By the activity of Ninja, the resurrection of Satan was checked. Now they can spell check right.
People will never forget the brave figures of 4 young men. Thank you, Ninja Kids.